Welcome to This Week in the PNFL. I'm your host, Mark Hill, and along for the ride, as always, we have Mitch Grawl and Dean Chambers. And, well, first off, how are you guys doing?
Good. Fantastic.
All right, and we have a special guest with us today. We have the coach that was with Detroit, but now is with Philly, James Bloomer. How you doing, James?
I'm doing really good because everybody in this booth is easy to beat.
Oh, so see, you know what? What you guys didn't hear, I did do a little snippet of capturing some of the pregame chatter or pre-show chatter. Yeah, we're gonna get a little spicy today. I already see that, and this is gonna be kind of interesting. There may be some interesting graphics you guys are gonna see on this show. So, yeah, so.
I don't remember the Houston game being so easy.
Well,
isn't that kind of like a really close game that was won by like 2 or 3 points?
Yeah, but I did put up 520 yards in offense. I mean, there was no defense.
Oh,
apparently for either team.
You know what? We should have had Sean on here also.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a rogue sim. Let's go back to the rogue sim and go there.
I can't. Hey, look. I'm gonna be
okay. I ran the same PPP and beat him in like a couple weeks later. So it's a rogue sim.
I'm gonna be like Eminem in 8 Mile. I'm gonna go ahead and talk bad about myself. I know exactly where I'm at. I'm gonna defang Philly before they even get started. Yeah, I know I'm at 2-11. I know I'm sucking this bad. I know my team ain't doing that great. But hey, you know what? I know what I am. I know where I'm at, and I know where my problems are at. So he's gonna jump in there anyway and talk his smack. But you know what? There's nothing better than defanging the Cobra before they even have a chance to strike.
Well,
booyah!
Of course you know what your problems are. They're everything. It's easy to find it when it's everything.
See, you can't talk trash about. What did Eminem say? You can't talk trash about someone that's living in a trailer park when they know they're living in a trailer park. You can't do it. You can't talk about someone that's already talking about themselves.
Just because, I mean, if you know you're bad, that's fine. I'm glad you know you're bad.
Then what's
now
your
you're
excuse?
In denial. That's a start.
But you know what? I have not gotten blown out. What was it? 63-8.
64.
Well, I'll tell you what, it sure is fun to listen to three guys with a combined 10 winning seasons while I'm sitting here with 12 winning seasons in a row. But,
and the thing is I over half of them.
See, Mitch, Mitch, you know what? See, because normally when we do the show, you guys will hear some noise in the background. And usually that's Mitch's dogs having Wednesday night fights. As you guys see on the screen, yeah, they're doing the Wednesday night fight. And you see the 3 dogs over there, even though those are Mitch's dogs, that's actually Mark, James, and Dean. And
Mitch I'm holding the camera.
And he's holding the camera.
I have to fact check you on that. Between the 3 of us, it's exactly 12 wins, not 10 wins. 12 wins between the 3 of us.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, no, he's talking about winning seasons, I think.
Yeah, winning seasons. Combined 10 winning seasons for all 3 of y'all. And I'm running 12 seasons in a row with winning seasons. But okay, whatever.
Well,
the cameraman cannot be talking trash. Mitch, you're supposed to be filming the fight, not being in it.
And I'm pretty sure, Mitch, you're 500 against me, so it's all good.
I have no idea.
Well, we've been trading back and forth for a while.
I just know that
Mitch has that selective amnesia.
The playoffs again this year, so y'all have.
Well, yeah, I can't. I'll be honest. I can't make the playoffs this year. It's not mathematically eliminated yet, but all I need is a loss or a San Francisco win, and I'm out.
Mitch has that selective amnesia. So, all right. So we've had enough fun starting off. We need to get this thing kicked off. As we run through all of this, we'll come back and revisit it. You guys know the routine by now. We're going to review last week's games. We're going to talk in the middle section about playoffs, how things are going to start to shake out, and then we'll go through the games for the upcoming week. So, looking at week 13 games, There's some close ones as usual. There's a couple of them that have been blown out. Not really too many blowouts. I think maybe one, and that's barely. Most of them have been pretty close, 10 points or less. So if you guys are ready, we are going to go ahead and jump right into this. So first game on the list, we're going to start off with Jacksonville hosting Houston. And first close game, but Houston is still on their little roll as they beat Jacksonville 14-10. We're going to start off with Dean.
Yeah, I think the word of this game is luck, and I'm not talking about Andrew luck. I'm talking about pure luck. Jacksonville, although they didn't score a whole lot, pretty much dominated the flow of this game for most of the game. We watched this on Discord. Really, Jacksonville should have won this game. If Jacksonville had just been a little bit more opportunistic with their offense at times in this game, but still, Jacksonville should have won this game. Houston got really lucky with an opportunity to score near the very end of the game. Should have been a Jacksonville win, though. That's all I can say. Should have been a Jacksonville win.
All right. James, what do you got?
I'm going to say something you never thought that you would hear. I agree completely with Dean.
What?
The only thing that jumps out to me about this game is that Jacksonville didn't throw the ball down the field very much. Most of the passes were really short and very controlled. Houston just took a little more chances. They pulled ahead and won.
All right. Coach Grawl, what do you got to say about that? You've heard two of the coaches in a coach and a host. What do you got to say about that?
Again, taking criticism from these non-playoff teams, Mark. But anyway, no, it was a really good game, and I tell you, I was very frustrated with the penalties that I kept generating, which really put me in those long yardage situations, which led to those 6 sacks by Jacksonville. It always ended up in 3rd and 10 plus, or second and 10 plus, because I got I think 2 weeks in a row, I think I've had or combined like 6 of those delay games. So something I definitely got to put a little bit more attention into of my preparation. But defensively, man, I felt really good about things there. But yeah, my offense was definitely hurt by penalties and long yardage sacks. But you know what? We'll take the win, and we're now back at the top of the AFC West, at least by percentage points. So we'll take it.
What was that Moss said on Friday night on Discord? What was that comment he said?
He said I was condensing or something. I'm not sure what it was.
I don't think it was condensing. He wasn't talking about air conditioning.
All right. Next game up, we have San Francisco hosting Los Angeles in the Battle of California. And let's just say the commish was on a roll as he took this one 31-13. We are going to start off with Mitch.
Yeah, this was a very strong game for San Francisco, and I look forward to hosting them this coming weekend. It should be a good game. LA just could not get anything going offensively at all. The San Francisco really just clamped down and smothered them. And then Burrow did his thing and one player of the game, and led the balance to San Francisco attack. But just overall strong team victory for 49ers.
All right, James, what do you got?
The thing that jumps out to me on this game, because I didn't actually watch it, is Herbert's numbers: 25 attempts for 11 completions. You're not going to win in this league if you're completing 44% of your passes. Just isn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dean.
Yeah, I think James is right. Herbert might be the new Trey Lance here with those kind of numbers. But no, San Francisco looked very solid in this game and played some good balanced offense and some pretty good defense. I think Charlie's team is going to be the 4th playoff team in the NFC, and will make it into the tournament this year. I think there's at this point, there's probably no stopping San Francisco. We're not going to see one of those late season slides by the 49ers we have sometimes in the past. I think they make the playoffs this time.
All right. Next one up, we have Las Vegas going into Indy to take on the Colts. I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see how you guys feel about Indy at this point. But Vegas ended up taking this one 28-21. I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to start this one off with James.
I think they're both pretenders. And if you look at Prescott's line, it just shows you that. I mean, he completed 51% of his passes. Yes, he had 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. It just was two bad teams playing each other, and one coming out on top.
Okay.
And I'm one of the bad teams that lost. I'm pretty sure I lost to Indy this year. So, but yeah.
All right. Mitch.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, it was an interesting ball game. Lots of big plays for sure for both teams. I'm not really sure, what this really tells us about which way teams are going. I think this is Las Vegas is maybe second win in a row, and I know I get them here not this week but next week, so I'll have a better feel then. But they found a way to get the one score win, and we'll see if they can build that for a run here and try to squeak into the playoffs. I think Indy might be pretty much done though, but we'll see.
All right. Dean.
Yeah, I think Indianapolis is pretty much done. I've been telling you all that the Raiders are improving, and they were at one point the best 3-8 team in the league with lots of close losses. And an interesting stat in this game is they had 74 total plays to 57 for Indianapolis. They just called more plays. They played more plays. That usually makes a difference. And I think in some ways you look at these stats and they've probably played a little bit stronger than that score indicates. So I wouldn't count out the Raiders in any of their future games.
Okay. Next one up as we run through this, we have Denver going into Pittsburgh, and I think there were rumors that the Headless Horseman was in the stands down at Three Rivers. I still call it Three Rivers, not Heinz Field. I do believe the Headless Horseman was down there cheering on his Broncos as Denver took this game 32-17. Mitch, you're up.
Well, I think everybody listening to the show, we're going to actually have a drinking game sponsored by, maybe Heineken or something, for every time the term a headless horseman or the Jets do what they do is said on each show. Everybody takes a drink. So
Actually, Mitch,
yeah,
I'm gonna do a shameless plug because I'm from Michigan and
Yes.
James is from Michigan. There's a place called the Detroit Distillery. Google it, pull it up. They have some good stuff over there. So it will be the drinking game with Detroit Distillery, and we're going to be doing the Butcher's Cut bourbon tonight.
Oh,
All right,
okay. Very good. Well, Mox will just be drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, so, that's what he
not the Pabst.
But anyway, as far as this game goes, I was impressed that Denver was able to get, that a 2-score win over Pittsburgh. You've heard me, obviously talk about both of these teams as I've played both of them recently, and they are defensively they are as good as anybody right now in the league. Both still up and down, are inconsistent on the offensive side. That's what hurt Pittsburgh. They had those 2 turnovers giving Denver a short field, and obviously it led to the demise. But both these teams are dangerous for those who have to play them here the last few weeks of the season.
All right. Dean.
Yeah, I have to add one rule that you forgot about on the drinking game. Anytime I put a lead pipe curse on a team, you have to finish your drink.
Okay.
Okay,
But,
gotcha.
Yeah, I think the headless horseman was actually on the sideline working as a consultant with the coaching staff of Denver. I mean, it looked like one of his efforts. This is a very solid effort. Those 2 turnovers were a big difference, but Denver had a pretty effective and balanced offense and went for 4th down 3 times and made 2 of them. Well, I guess Pittsburgh did that too, but this is a pretty solid effort by Denver. I had put a lead pipe curse, supposedly a lead pipe lock on the Steelers, and they didn't win. I believe someone else had a lead pipe lock on Denver, I think. If I remember right.
No, I think we both had our lead pipe lock on. I thought it was both on Pittsburgh. I'm not sure. I had to go back.
Oh
and check
yeah,
it.
you're right. No, I'm thinking of it different. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yep. James.
Yeah.
James, what'd you see?
Basically the same thing. The 2 interceptions are a big thing. And if you look, you can see that Pittsburgh had a punt that was a touchback. So that's basically a dead drive on their side when they've driven their ball down the field. So that is 2 of the things that you don't want to see on your team, because you're not converting actual drives and scores. Other than that, it looked like a pretty even game.
All right. Next one that we have on our list as we're running through this, we have New England hosting Washington. And I'm definitely curious about what you guys got to say about both teams, as Washington took this one 24-14. Dean, you're up.
Yeah, the big thing that stands out is the 26 rushing yards by New England. You definitely cannot beat Jerry's team by not being able to run the ball that way. It's just not going to get the job done. And we watched this game in Discord too, and this was a pretty rough game for New England. If I remember right, Washington got ahead by a good amount early on, and then New England made somewhat of a comeback, but it was too late near the end of the game. And as usual, Jerry's team ran the ball pretty well. Only 21 times for 111 yards, but that's still 5.3 yards per carry, which is still pretty solid.
Okay. Let's go with James.
The thing that jumps out at me at this game is their down conversions. 6 of 13 for Washington and 1 for 1 on 4th down. And you got 5 for 15 for New England and 0 for 1 on 4th down. Jerry was just converting his 3rd downs and moving the ball. You can see that with the running. He's not going to win big, but he's going to win. He does that.
Okay. Mitch.
If I remember right, it seems like there was parts of this game that were just like a complete snooze fest. I don't know, but even though Washington, didn't lead in the time of possession, it just felt like they were just kind of grinding the ball, with run and short pass, and I would have swore they would have had 40 minutes of possession, because it just felt like there were parts of that game where it was just. So it was just the little short gainers, but that's kind of the Washington style when they win. So no surprise they got the 10-point victory on New England.
All right. Next up, we have the Battle of New York, as we have the New York Jets taking on the New York Giants, and the New York Jets. Here's your drinking games. The Jets do what they do. Ding, 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 ding. Time for your shot. As they took this one 33-17. Mitch.
And bonus points when we say they're on a mission. I think that'll be the next one.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, 2 shots if we say the Jets are on a mission.
That's right.
No,
Detroit City Distillery. There you go.
That's right. Oh no, the Jets. I don't know. The score is actually closer than what the game really was.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
The Jets dominated this game. There were a few little spots where they had some they had to punt a few times, whatever. But overall, Jets just dominated, and both offensively and defensively. And so, not much to say here. But I mean, watching the game and even seeing the stats, you would think it'd have been more like a 41-10 game or something. But still a pretty sizable margin.
Okay, James.
I'm going to change the thing. New York did what New York does. The Giants were inconsistent.
Which
And
one?
the Jets were dominant. Both of them. This has been a story of both teams. It's now, mind you, I don't do any better against Thomas than what Sean did here. But I mean, it's just when Thomas plays, the coaches on our level, it's usually like this. It's just everything dominated in every aspect of the game.
All right, Dean.
Yeah, I'm going to point out something neither of you said, and I'm going to add a drinking rule here too. When I bring this subject up, it's time to drink, and I'm going to point out how terrible Daniel Jones is as quarterback. He went 10 for 33. That's 30% completions. Trey Lance is better than that. I mean, Trey Lance could complete 34% the last couple of times he started for me. Your team is not competing against the Jets or anyone else when you get that kind of production from your quarterback. Of course, I didn't add the 0 touchdowns, and then he threw an interception. So that isn't getting the job done. Definitely quarterback controversy in New York, and I'm talking about the Giants, not the Jets. I think the fans are going to start demanding that Anthony Richardson be put in to start a game. And he couldn't do any worse than 10 for 33.
I do remember, and I can't remember who the player was. I think it was last season or the season before. Mitch was screaming, and I can't remember what team it was for their backup quarterback.
Allen.
It was the Colts. It was Kyle Allen or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Kyle Allen. Yes,
he'd be starting for the Colts right now.
And Mitch was
still be starting for the Colts.
Yeah, if you could have put Mitch on top of the building with a megaphone, he was screaming it. Put Kyle Allen in, and finally they put him in, and they started winning games. He was like, see,
yeah. and then he got cut at the end of the season and retired. I was gonna sign him, but he retired when they hit the button.
Yep, there you go.
I have one thing to say. I will trust Dean's expertise on bad quarterback play. He is an expert in that.
Ouch.
Moving on to the next game.
We have an early fight night as we have Philadelphia hosting Atlanta, and Atlanta came up a bit short. Philly ended up taking this one, and I would say it was pretty much. I won't say it's a rout. I won't say that. I'm sure that one coach will, one coach won't. But Philly took this one 27-17. We're going to start this one with Mitch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the score definitely maybe doesn't indicate a rout with it being a 2-score game, but everything else, numbers-wise, definitely looks that way. I mean, Philadelphia, both, offensively and defensively, just completely ran over Atlanta. And I think I had Atlanta to pick to win this game, so I was not expecting this type of domination from Philadelphia this week. But we're talking about Daniel Jones, quarterback. Hooker didn't throw the picks, but 176 yards. That's not going to get there. But even outdone by only 50 yards rushing for Atlanta, compared to 200 plus in each of those categories for Philly. So strong game for Philly, and Atlanta's going to have to do some major rebounding if they're going to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. So that's what I got on this one.
All right. Dean, what do you got?
Yeah, I wouldn't blame Hendon Hooker for this. He played in the game plan that he was given, and the game plan I put together for this was just not a very good game plan on offense. And the game looked worse than the score actually indicated, really, because I believe the score was like 27-7 for a while. My offense was just not very effective. I'm not sure how it even scored twice. I know there was a late score at the end of the game when it really didn't matter, what someone called a cosmetic touchdown. I mean, really, if the score was 27-7, which it easily could have been, that would kind of represent the stats of the game more than a 27-14 game does. My defense wasn't actually that bad, but when the offense is as non-productive as it is, it's tough for the defense to play nearly 38 minutes of game and expect to hold the other team to fewer points. It just doesn't usually work that way. So this was not a good effort by my team. Not a good game plan on offense.
All right. Coach Bloomer, what do you got for your victory this week?
Honestly, I kind of disagree with Dean. What happened in his game plan is that he had 2 early fumbles that he lost, one of them on a drive that looked like he was going to score. Other than that, when he got behind, then that's kind of when the things kind of went off the rails. I know his one score was like a 2-minute drive at the end of the first half, and the other one was pretty late too in the second half. But other than that, the offense looked pretty well on my team. The running game was up, going pretty good. I remember, I'm looking at the stats. I remember Atlanta running the ball a lot better than what the stats say they did early in the game. But I think the game plan was really good up until he fell behind, and then it kind of fell off the rails. But if it would have stayed a close game, I think he probably would have pulled it out.
All right. Next one up, we have Seattle, and I will say the people with the bags on their heads are out there, so I'm sure there's some photos out there. But they did put up a much better showing, but still came up short as Seattle hosted Minnesota, and they dropped this one 21-27. We're going to start with James this time.
16 carries, 37 yards, 2.3 yards per carry. Somehow you got a touchdown with that, but that's the one that jumps out at me. Your quarterback play looked really good. You just couldn't run the ball. I think Minnesota took the week off. That's the only way I can explain the score.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
So they should have doubled it, right? They should have doubled the score.
I'm pretty sure you can't have a defense on the field for Seattle score 21 points. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they couldn't even do that if everybody was playing. And only scoring 27 points. What did they walk off the field in the first half?
As you guys see the dogs side, they're fighting again. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
But no, your passing was pretty good. I just don't understand what happened on the running attack. There is nothing there that it all screams like was just bad. 16 for 37 is just bad. You're not going to win if you're running like that.
I fully agree.
And that's pretty much it.
Mitch, go ahead, pile on.
No, well, the Vikings do what the Vikings do.
Oh,
right?
Drinking. Hold up. Clink.
Yeah, I mean, Vikings have won 7 or 8 in a row. They're leading the NFC West, number 1 seed in the NFC. I mean, my gosh, Barney's just happy to finally get out of the AFC West so he can get some recognition, over there in the NFC. But
Are you trying? Hold on. Are you trying to say that Barney can't hang in the AFC, so he ran to the NFC?
Oh no! I'm not saying that. I said he's finally getting
Barney,
recognition.
if you're listening, Barney, he's calling you out, Barney. I'm stirring the pot. I am stirring the pot this week. I am stirring the pot this week.
Barney knows I'm a big Minnesota fan. It was a big another Minnesota win, and I expect them to keep it rolling.
So this kind of crap is being talked.
Go ahead, Dean.
I hope you all wear some high boots when this kind of crap is being talked. I mean, there's some serious stuff being slung around here.
Oh, yes, of course. We knew that in pre-show. In pre-show, we knew that. All you coaches know, every one of you coaches have been on the show. So you know how we do things in pre-shows. Sometimes it's nice. Sometimes it's a little bit spicy. But this one here is like a little caliente because you got Mitch, you got Dean, you got my Michigan brother, even though he left Detroit and went to Philly. But that's beside the point. So, go ahead, Dean.
Sometimes decides to just dump out an entire bucket of rubbish here. But anyway, this was a tough game for Seattle, and maybe Minnesota's just kind of conserving its efforts and just content to. I wouldn't call it milling, and just content to do what it has to do to what they have to do to win. But I think Minnesota has a good chance of going to the big game. We'll see, but it could happen. I think this might be one of Barney's best coaching efforts overall this season, maybe his best yet.
Yep, I will say that. I will as a small victory. We put up 21 points. That's it. So I'm like Eminem in 8 Mile. So hey, look, I know who I am. I know what I am. But you know what? Look where Eminem was in 8 Mile. Look where he's at right now. So y'all can go ahead and have your fun kicking me while I'm down. Youper. Or actually not Youper, but all right. For those that don't know, I'm gonna pick on James right now because that's the only time I can pick on him is on the podcast. So James is below the UP. I am northern Detroit. So as I pick on James
Ohio.
and James, don't start. As we hold up. As we got Georgia, as we have Mitch in Georgia and Dean out in the Pacific Northwest, like, I'm not touching this. You got two Michiganders going at it. Okay, troll. All right, troll below the UP. So, yes, we're going at it. But you know what?
Wake us up when y'all are done, though, okay?
Okay. Wake you, yeah. So, as we, I know where my team is at. I know where things are going. And, yes, not the best season as previous. But actually, this is the worst one yet. So, there's no way to go but up.
I have one problem with your analogy. Eminem has talent.
Ooh. Ouch. You know what? You're not that far from me, man. You're not that far. Hey, you guys, don't worry. You never know. Next week, it might be Mitch and Dean hosting the show. There was a rumble up in northern Michigan. All right. I'm going to stop. He's my brother. So, yeah, he's my PNFL brother. So,
yes, come up to where the Hicks live and see how things go.
There you go. I'll see you over at the Meyer. Next one up, we have Chicago hosting Green Bay, and Chicago. Wait a minute. Should I go ahead and go clink clink? Chicago they do what they do as they took this one 22-10. We're going to start this off with my Michigan brother, James.
This is basically a repeat of my game with them, except Chicago did a better job and didn't throw 3 interceptions. Complete domination. They only completed 6 passes. They ran the ball 23 times, but somehow only gained 54 yards. I mean, Green Bay was not even on the field from the looks of it.
Ooh. Dean, what do you got?
Yeah, this was a rough game passing, 6 for 28 from Malik Willis. I mean, his PNFL version is looking like his real-life version that can't even break the starting lineup with the Tennessee Titans. So, but I think Green Bay will improve next season. I think Shuggy has some tricks up his sleeve that he's going to be deploying. So I wouldn't count him out yet.
I agree with you on that one, Mitch.
Similar to what James said. I mean, the one thing I could say positive for Green Bay is that those 6 completions are double what they were the previous week against Detroit. Somehow, I guess, like you said, the 3 interceptions against Detroit, they were able to squeak out a win by only completing 3 passes. And even this week, I mean, 6 completions. They ran the ball for 2.3 yards a carry. And yet, I mean, it's a 12-point game. So I don't know how in the world this keeps kind of happening there. But Green Bay's got to figure out how to complete some passes. They do that. I mean, heck, they might be in a lot more games than they've been.
Okay.
173 yards on those 6 completions, though.
What was that, Dean?
Yeah.
173 yards on those 6 completions. They didn't complete many, but they were big plays.
Yeah. Imagine if he'd have completed 14 for that type of average.
Yeah.
Green Bay might have pulled off another upset like they did earlier this season.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. All right. So we had a little bit of extra fun on that one. I think I kind of stretched it out a little bit between myself and James going back and forth on that one. But we're gonna pivot on over to our middle segment, and obviously, as we are winding down the season, we are looking at the end of week 13, and as we started doing 2 weeks ago, we are going to look at the current standings. On the AFC side, you have the New York Jets doing what they do at 12-1, followed on the East with New England at 5-8, Indy at 5-8, Jacksonville at 4-9. We have Houston over in the West at 9-4, Pitt at 9-4, LA at 6-7, Denver at 6-7 with a headless horseman sitting there cheering them on, and Vegas at 5-8. Over on the NFC side, we have Washington sitting at 9-4, the New York Giants sitting at 5-8, Philly at 5-8, Atlanta at 5-8, and on the NFC West, we have Minnesota, new kid on the block, kicking it at 10-3, Chicago at 9-4, Frisco at 7-6, Green Bay at 4-9, and Seattle bringing up the rear at 2-11. So, with all that being laid out before you guys, as you see on your screen, you guys have already heard Mitch and Dean with their analysis, but I really like having, when we have our other coaches on, definitely want to take James's analysis on this. So what I want to do is, as we normally have reverse, where an NFC coach talks about the AFC and vice versa, I'm going to give James full reign, and I would like to have James talk about both sides. If he can start with the AFC side first, and then go with the NFC side, and then I'm going to go with my colleagues and go with their respective opposite divisions and see what they want to take on this. So, James, if you go ahead and start with the AFC side and then pivot over to the NFC.
Okay.
Since we have James on the line while he's going first, maybe James, you should maybe share a couple of thoughts on Discord too, as you do the analysis of the.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree. I agree. I will tell you guys as we go forward with this. We're at as I'm talking, we're at the 40-minute mark. So we've been kind of. I try to kind of steer the train, but I've just kind of let it go.
You're not going to steer the train with me here, so don't even try.
Thank you, Detroit Distillery, Detroit City Distillery. So, not going to say much more than that. James, it's your show.
I'm going to start. I'm going to start off with Discord. Everybody's talked about growing the league. One of the things I'd like to point out is Discord is one of the biggest things that's going on with gamers. And what we've had is a few people stop in, but because of like WhatsApp and all the other things, we've not had the activity in Discord. And if we can get the activity in Discord, it's going to be a bigger advertisement for the league. And there's tons of things that we can do with Discords. You can create threads, so one conversation is easy to follow. You can have different rooms. We can put as many rooms in as you need. Step discussions. Have a special room for Mitch, Dean, to myself have to listen to it. There's all sorts of things. You can have links to the front page of stuff. So basically, you could create Discord to be the front page of the league. I don't have the time to do it, so I definitely could use help. And I definitely want to eventually turn over ownership of Discord to somebody, because I don't want it. But it's a great resource and it's a great advertisement, because if people come in and see the banter you guys are having, it's going to draw them in and they're going to want to be a part of it more likely than not. So that would be great for people to see. And they're not going to, the WhatsApp's kind of isolated off in its own little world, and it's not something the public gets to see. And I think that discussion would be very useful for people seeing.
No, James. So what you're saying there, because we do use the WhatsApp a little bit more, obviously during the week, and we've been using Discord on the weekends. But from what you're saying, though, if we were to use Discord, it's because it's more open for other people to kind of pop in. That's, I guess, how would people know to join our Discord unless we invited them, or can they just, get alerted somehow and join in?
I think it's open for public searching, but if, like when you're posting things on forums and stuff like that about the league, all it takes is a link to the Discord, and people are more apt to join a Discord group than I would even be more apt to join a Discord group than go to a web page sometimes, and because it gives you an idea of what's going on. And honestly, we'd rather have them in the Discord if it's active, because the forums aren't even really that active. I mean, you need to see
the forums
activity.
Died once we started posting on WhatsApp and Discord.
But the forums weren't that active before. I mean, I think WhatsApp was a great thing for the league. I think it's great. I would just like to see it on Discord, just because it allows other people to see it, and it might draw people in. I mean, we need as much as we can to make people interested in the league. And if you see people bantering about a game, you might now be interested. You might not have had any interest in it, but you might be interested in coming in on Friday night and watching the game, because you're now invested because you've seen the banter back and forth. So, I mean, those are different things that can help grow the league. And then we can start posting where you can post YouTube videos are like embedded into things, so you can just click on it and watch the YouTube video. We could have a channel that's all the YouTube videos of the games, so someone doesn't even have to leave the Discord to go watch the games. You can basically have discussions about things. You could post tutorials on how to, which I believe you said you're going to do, Mitch, was post a tutorial about how you prepare. So I'm still waiting.
Yeah, at some point, yeah. I'm probably going to do that. Yeah, at some point I'll probably do that.
It would also create very active and interactive discussions that you can have about rule changes and stuff like that, because you can create threads about that. We can create rooms for that stuff. The Discord is very customizable to what we need. We just need people that want to take the time to learn how to do it, and it's very easy to do and you can have links to all the programs that we need just right in the thing, right there to be clicked on. So you click on a link and it downloads it. It gives you the access to do everything we do on our front page, but in a more kind of organized thing for people to see in a thing where we're actually also discussing things. So it could create a one place for everything if someone wants to take the time to do it and can show the whole history. Because I think that's the other thing that we have going for us is there's such a long history. So if we can have the games on there, we can have all the other stuff. There's a lot of things that we have going on that would definitely strengthen the advertisement for the league. And that's kind of the only reason I would like to see it on Discord is just because it would advertise the league.
Well, Charlie has officially joined in and watched a Friday Night Light showing. So if Charlie can figure it out and join in, maybe everybody.
Don't be picking on Charlie. Leave Charlie alone.
No, I mean, he was just one of the last ones to join on. I know we have maybe one or two other coaches that haven't joined us on the Discord thing, but hey, so goes Charlie, so goes the league. So if Charlie can get discorded, maybe some other things will change too.
So it sounds like one of the things we need to do pretty soon is move the activity that's currently taking place on WhatsApp over to Discord.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I mean, WhatsApp was good as far as we were coming in initially, but the Discord, and for me, personally, I gotta get more involved with Discord. But, the purpose of this podcast initially was to expand it to the coaches in the league. But, I could see us expanding it further. I want to see a full league again. When I joined, we didn't have a full league, but I'm used to seeing a full league. And I would love
you mean a full league like 28 teams, or you mean because we got all of our teams with coaches?
Yeah, I'm talking about like the max. The max was it when 98 came out? What was it 30? Was 30. It 30 teams or 32?
30 teams.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I would like to see every slot in the game that could be filled. I would really like to see that.
When they added Jacksonville and Carolina.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, Dean could even do a tutorial on how he builds plays and how he tests plays to see how good they are. You could have every resource and build all these things out so that becomes very easy for a coach to step in and compete.
I mean, there's a lot of things that Discord is definitely more effective than the forum. I mean, I think we'll get to the point where almost there already where the forum will just be used for like conducting basic league business, such as posting, free agent signings and players released in your practice squad and do the draft. I mean, the draft may still be done on the forum, even though we'll all be like hanging out in Discord and saying, "Oh, your pick is up." What number?
I was going to say, we pretty much did the draft on WhatsApp this year.
The other thing I can say is Discord's also nice because you can instantly go from a group chat to sending a person a direct message. So I mean, it's right. You have all that capability right in one app. Yeah. So it has a lot of benefits. I would like someone, like I said, I'd like help on it because I just set it up because someone, I think Matt had said something about it, and I figured it was a good resource to have.
Maybe Matt would be a good candidate to help run that site. Yeah, because he was the one talking about that before you built it. So maybe he would want to do that because he has good knowledge of how it works.
And here's the thing:
does the system allow like multiple moderators or something? So
yes.
I think I'm one on there.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
You and Matt are both moderators right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think that's why I'm able to do some different things or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And I'm willing to expand it to whoever needs it and whoever has ideas, and we're free it up as much as I can. I would like, once we get all the owners in, to kind of create a separate class for owners and have a class for people that are just guests, so they don't have it. So basically, we can kind of keep all the spam out. But other than that, it's pretty much free and open for people to figure out what they want to do with. And if you come to me and have an idea of something, I have probably not going to probably be like, go for it, and just give you the power to do it. So, but back to what you had asked, I think the AFC is really easy. Jets are going to get home field. All they do is win a game or have Pittsburgh lose a game, and they have home field advantage. It doesn't really matter who wins between Houston and Pittsburgh. They're playing each other the first week in the playoffs. It just determines who has home field. I don't think that's going to make that big of a difference. Now, when you get to the final spot, I would say LA is the best team. I think LA has the hardest schedule the rest of the way out. I can't tell you who's going to do it. It could be any of these teams, and it could even be a team that's 6-10. I don't know if that's possible, but it's like, honestly, I could see all these teams losing all their games except against each other. A lot of them have hard schedules, so it could be anything in that point. It's just a mess there, and I don't think it's going to matter because they're going to play the Jets and lose. And the NFC, the NFC, the conference that Mitch ran from to go play in the AFC West because he couldn't handle it. Washington's going to win their division. Minnesota, Chicago. I actually think Chicago's going to be pulling out the division, but that's either here or there. They're going to one of them's going to win it, and the other one's going to play Washington. And I see San Francisco making the playoffs. I don't see anybody catching them. 2 games back with 3 to play, and he has the tiebreaker with the best team of the 5 and 8 teams, which is Philadelphia. The other 2 have rough schedules and probably aren't going to pull it out. The Giants have the best shot because they play them the last week, I think. So if they can pull it close, they could probably do it. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to San Francisco is going to lose this week and eventually win enough games to pull it out. That's my thoughts on it.
All right. We're going to run real quick since we stretched that way out too long. Mitch, give me your quick analysis on the NFC side.
Not that much different than what James said. I think, we got 3 spots all figured out, and, I think it would take some pretty much a complete fall off the rails for San Francisco not to get that 4th spot. Though they do start those last 3 games against me, so I'll try to help the rest of the NFC by beating San Francisco this week. But even if they were to lose to me, I don't see I still have a hard time now seeing them not making that 4th spot.
All right. Dean, give me your quick analysis.
Yeah, I think the 49ers are going to lose a tough game this week, but they're going to go 9-7 and win that 4th spot. There's no doubt. Washington is already mathematically clinched, and Minnesota and Chicago are both going to go. So it's pretty clear. I think we pretty much know who the 4 teams in the NFC are. The AFC, not so fast. Definitely the Jets, Houston, and Pittsburgh, but that 4th spot, you could argue that the Chargers are the tougher of those. I'll say there's 3 teams in contention, all in AFC West. But Denver has a shot, and I don't count out the Raiders. The Raiders could finish this season 8-8 and get that last spot. That could happen. You can say, well, why does it matter? They're going to lose to the Jets. That Raiders team could challenge the Jets. I went, again, not so fast.
All right. All right, guys, we waited way too long, and we are running way too long, but I enjoy this. So we're going to go ahead and pivot over to our last segment. We're going to try to run through this as quickly as we can so we don't keep you here too long. As we go into the Week 14 games, I see 2 pick'em games there, and let's see, 2 games that are at 10-point or higher spread. Everything else is much lower than that. So we're going to run through this as quickly as we can, except for 1 game, which I'm sure there'll be some trash talking on. First game up, we have Jacksonville hosting the New York Jets. And, of course, the Jets are going to do what they do. We're going to start off with Mitch as they're giving the Jets 13.5.
Yeah, I will take the Jets. I think I think the Jets will definitely win the game. I think Jacksonville uh, could, maybe keep it to maybe 10 versus, the 13 and a half or whatever, but I'll take the Jets.
All right, Dean.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup to play after that tough loss by Jacksonville last week. But yeah, I have to agree. The Jets are going to win.
All right, James.
Exactly what Mitch said.
All right, I will round it off going with the Jets as well. Next game up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Indianapolis Colts. They are giving the Steelers 9.5. Dean.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh is going to win this game. I think I won't use the word tanking, but Indianapolis is probably pretty much knows their fate. I think Pittsburgh wins.
Okay, James.
I think Pittsburgh's going to win. Honestly, I don't know why Houston and Pittsburgh will play anybody the rest of the season. I would be resting your players and getting ready for the final, the playoff game. But Pittsburgh's going to win even if they don't play people.
All right, Mitch.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will win this.
All right. Next game up is our first of our two pick'ems. We have Atlanta hosting New England. James.
New England's going to win it, and they're my odds-on favorite for making the fourth playoff spot because they have the easiest schedule.
All right. Mitch.
I am going to take. Who am I going to take here? You know what? I'll take Atlanta. I think Dean doesn't want to lose to rivals in back-to-back weeks, so I think he'll find a way to pull this one out at home.
All right. Dean.
With the way the offense played last week, that might be wishful thinking.
It might be time to go get DiNucci breaking back.
Not so fast. I think Atlanta's gonna step up. I love my brother from Canada, Mox, but I think Atlanta's gonna pull this one out. All right. Next game up, we have the Raiders hosting the Headless Horsemen.
You didn't even ask James what he thinks about the game.
I did. Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You used the first one. Okay, never mind.
I'm okay. I'm the one doing the Detroit Distillery tonight.
So you pick New England, right?
You can't hold on. You cannot do Detroit Distillery. What are we doing? We're doing the rye bourbon tonight. You can't do that in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, we're doing it out here.
True.
All right. All right. So moving on. We have the Raiders hosting the Broncos and the Headless Horsemen. There's rumors he's going to show up tonight or the night of the game. They're giving the Broncos 7.5. We're going to start with Dean.
Yeah, not so fast. Home team will win this game. It's an upset. The Raiders are going to win.
Ooh.
Over Denver.
All right, Mitch.
No. Denver lead pipe lock takes this thing.
Oh, okay. First lead pipe lock's been dropped. James.
Exactly what Mitch said. I was going to let pipe block this one too.
Oh, all right. Two lead pipes are down. There's two left out there. All right. I want to say the Raiders, but I got to go with you guys and go with the Broncos. Sorry.
They're just giving Neil more and more motivation to pull off this win.
That's right. Give Neil the motivation.
Well, by the time we get this out to the group, he'll have his PPPs turned in anyway.
Yeah, you don't know. Hey, I don't have to work tomorrow. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I don't have. I am taking. We are doing this on a Wednesday night, so I have tomorrow off. So, Next game up, we have the LA Chargers hosting the Cardinals, and Chicago. They're giving them 10.5. We're going to start with James.
Chicago. They're the best team in the league.
All right. Mitch.
I say Chicago, and I'm going with Chicago. But this is also one of those games where tanking LA will probably somehow pull one out of their rear end. I don't know. This just got one of those feelings. But I'll take Chicago.
I thought about the same thing as well. Dean.
Yeah, I think this is going to actually be a close, interesting, fun game to watch, especially if we can watch it in Discord Friday night. But I think the visiting team will still win. It will still be the Cardinals.
All right. I want to say I'm going to go with the Cardinals, but I think it's going to be much closer than 10.5. Much, much closer. Next game, we have the Oilers hosting the 49ers. They are giving the Oilers 7.5. James, you're up.
Oilers, but they won't cover.
Dean.
Charlie is either going to love this or hate this, depending on how he hears it. But I'm going to put a lead pipe lock on Houston winning this game at home.
All right.
I want to change my pick now.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with the Niners now. That pretty much sealed it for me.
It's going to be a close one. I don't believe that spread, but I'm going to give it to Mitch. I can see this being like a 3-point spread. Hopefully Mitch will be able to walk through his house after I finish saying this because his head won't be so swollen. I will say that, Houston's on a roll. They're on a mission. They came up short last season. I think that, sorry, Charlie, but you're a speed bump on the road. So I don't believe in the 7.5 point spread, but I do believe that that Houston will win by 3. So moving on. Next one, we have our second pick'em game. We have Washington hosting Mitch's Vikings. We're going to start with the cheerleader first. Mitch?
I'm going to take the Vikings in this game. Barney's going to stay in first place and keep that number 1 seed from the NFC.
Dean?
Yeah, Washington has mathematically clinched the division. Minnesota will win this game.
James?
I'm going to go with Minnesota.
Minnesota. Next one up. Oh, this is ought to be a good one. Let me go pull that video that Mitch was nice enough to send of the dogs fighting. As we have Philadelphia hosting Seattle. They are giving Philly 6.5. We are going to start with Mitch. Then the fight's going to start.
Yeah. Well, I picked Atlanta last week, and that didn't go so hot. Let's see here. So Seattle has lost 7 in a row. And Philadelphia, okay, 1 in a row, 2-2. All right, okay. All right. I'm going to take Philadelphia to win this game, but probably within the margin of error.
All right, Dean.
The margin of error, is this a football game or a poll? I'm predicting the upset here. Seattle is going to go on the road and have a lot to prove and more than enough motivation to do it. And I think the Seahawks will find a way to win this game, even if it's close, even if it's tough. Seattle wins.
My troll under the bridge in Michigan, James.
I should lose this game for the good of the league so Chicago doesn't get the first pick in the draft. But since somebody made a really bad trade, But just a service announcement. I'm sorry, Justin, but please stop sending your first round picks to Chicago. They don't need him. They have the best team in the league. We don't need to do this. And of course, I mean, Seattle can't beat anybody. So, but I mean, all I have to do is put a paper bag in front of the tunnel, and they're not even going to make it on the field. So, Eagles win.
Okay. Now that you guys have gotten your laughs out of the way and having your little fun moments, it's so fun that I have the pod track here. I have the computer here. I have the graphics here, and I can either talk shit or not talk shit.
I would leave that to what you do on the field.
You know what? You should have stayed in Detroit. I'm taking Philly down. Go Hawks. Last one that we have up, we have the New York Giants hosting the Green Bay Packers. They are giving the Giants 4.5. James, you're up.
I think this spread is way too low. Giants.
All right. Dean.
I just have one request for you two before I pick this game. Both of you get your PPVs in tomorrow, so we'll see Seattle at Philadelphia on Discord on Friday night. That's all I ask for.
I might not even submit a PPP. I might just go with what I've been running.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
I dare.
Do it.
What we used to say back in, you know what? I'm a military
Just do
brat.
it.
I'm a military brat. I used to live down in Southeast Texas. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Do it. Do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Someone else is going to do it, and that someone else is going to be Shoggy because the Packers are going to win this game. Green Bay is going to win
Ooh.
in the road. Green Bay win.
Mitch.
The only interest I have in this game is the over/under on Green Bay completions. I'm going to put it at 8. The number is going to be 8 for completions for Green Bay. We can do over/under if y'all like.
Under.
But, yeah, you might be right. I think right now, based on what we're talking about on WhatsApp, Sean might have distracted himself in creating a brand new football game. So I don't know how much time he's going to put into preparing for this game since they've lost 3 in a row. So you know what? I'm going to take those 8 receptions in the Packers this week.
All right. And I'm going to give James one more crack at this. What do you got?
Easily the Giants. Not even. How can we pick Green Bay? I mean, they can't complete a pass.
Oh, Shuggy. Got to put the Shuggy. Got to put the reefer down, bro. Got to put it down. Got to put it down.
Passing is overrated.
Okay.
I think he said he had created some new wishbone offensive plays or something.
All right. I gotta go against. I gotta go with James. I mean, no. Did I just say that? Yeah.
Well, it's about time you found someone smart.
I gotta go along with James and go with the Giants. I gotta go with the Giants.
You don't have to do that. You can side with the same side of the world.
No, I can't do that. I can't go. Look, I'm down in the basement and I'm looking up over at Green Bay. So yeah, Green Bay, you gotta lose, bro. You gotta lose. So I'm going with
Shuggy does not want.
Don't care. I don't care what Shuggy wants. I don't care, Shuggy. I don't care. So.
He doesn't.
I will say that there is only one team in the league that scored fewer points than Green Bay.
Don't care.
In Seattle. That's
don't
Green
care.
Bay.
Don't care. All right. So we are at over an hour right now. So I know you guys have been, I know you guys have been laughing at it, chucking it up and all this other fun stuff. So I will say that I enjoyed all this.
My dogs need to go pee, guys. We need to get this over with.
Yes. Just wait until you see the animation on this. So as you guys have already seen as we've gone through the show. So what I want to do is go ahead and thank you guys for coming on. Obviously, Mitch and Dean, as always, and especially to my my Youper underneath the bridge coming in the show up this week. Maybe we can do something a little special for you guys, since probably out of all the guys in the league, we're probably the closest together, in distance wise. So we're going to run through the tables one last time. James, any final words before we head out of here?
Please stop giving Chicago talent. I have not seen Chicago lose a trade in years. Don't think you're going to win it. Thanks.
All right. Dean.
Hey, did y'all notice this one word I did not use a single time in the show tonight?
What was that? Not so fast?
No. I said that a few times. Certain word that I've said several times lately.
What?
The point that some of you are probably sick and tired of hearing it.
What?
The S word. I'm not going to say it.
Mitch, you know what it is?
Oh, he's talking about scrub draft picks again.
Ah.
Not going to say it. I didn't say it.
All right.
But I didn't say it.
Mitch, any final words for you? Take us home, sir.
Oh, man, it's been interesting listening to all these non-playoff teams rat each other out tonight. But, it should be
we're all gonna
fun week this week.
We are going to team up on you next season. We are going to all make it a priority to take you out next season.
I thought y'all already did.
Don't start. Mitch, take us home.
I don't think any of us are going to be. Honestly, I don't think Atlanta and Seattle are going to play them, and I don't see Philadelphia playing them. So
yeah,
I don't think any of us are going to play them next year.
Mitch, you're going to win more. Yeah.
Mitch, take us home.
Well, you know what's left to do now, Mark.
What?
Let's get it.